you're watching Cait Straight Up, and I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to take an Italian sub or an Italian hoagie, take those ingredients and roll it all up into a really super fun Italian hot roll. It's similar to a stromboli, it's really easy to make, and it is perfect for football viewing parties, birthday parties, really anything where you're having a get together. It takes the super tasty ingredients from an Italian sub, your ham, your salami, your pepperoni, your provolone, and it rolls it all up, melts it all together into some gooey, awesome fabulousness. You guys are gonna love it, and it's really easy, so let's get started. So we preheated our oven to 400 degrees, and right here we have a Pillsbury thin crust pizza dough. You don't have to get fancy with your dough here. Buy a nice thin crust store-bought dough because everything inside is going to be what makes it taste really amazing. I do have a super easy 2-ingredient pizza dough on the channel as well if you're feeling feisty and want to make your homemade dough. But honestly, a Pillsbury thin crust pizza crust is perfect for this recipe. So since it's my cooking show and I absolutely love garlic, and when I think about an Italian sub kind of on a piece of nice hot garlic bread, my mouth really waters, we're going to add a little bit of garlic to the inside of our dough before we lay out our other ingredients. You could skip this step if you're not really a garlic lover, but who isn't a garlic lover? Let's be real. Add a little bit of garlic on there. It's going to bake into your stuff. It's going to be awesome. Then I personally like to start with my biggest ingredient, which is my ham. You're just going to lay it out. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to roll all up into your roll or your stromboli or your hot roll. But, you know, I like to kind of lay it out so it's nice and even. Just like so. So I just used a regular honey ham deli meat for that. You could experiment if you want to kind of jazz it up a little bit, but that's what I have here. The next ingredient is some regular Genoa salami, and you're just going to, same thing, lay it out. So if you I kind of find subs funny because people call it all different things around the country. Here in New Jersey, our state can't even agree. Half of the state calls it subs, the other half calls it hoagies. Very weird. One thing that every state and even all of New Jersey can agree on is that the combination of some fabulous deli meats with some provolone cheese on some great baked bread or whatever you're going to put it on with a few extra ingredients is fabulous. So whatever you call it, who cares? This stuff tastes good together. Next thing we're going to add is that pepperoni. I like to get some large slices of pepperoni. You could actually use the smaller slices, but if you go to your deli counter at your food store, they should have larger pieces of pepperoni, and I just think that it lays out better. Otherwise, you're going to be laying out a lot of pepperoni and those little small ones. You know, that could get to be a lot. But same thing, pepperoni is pepperoni. If you want to try turkey pepperoni, small pieces, big pieces, whatever you got, just put it on in. You'll notice here that I left a slight lip on the front of my roll. That's because where we're actually going to close it up. The last and final ingredient going into this delicious Italian sub roll is our nice thin slices of provolone cheese. Now, if you're not a fan of provolone, again, you could switch it up. Just the typical Italian sub, though, does have provolone on it, so that's why I'm picking these ingredients today. However, again, feel free to experiment. Now comes the fun part where we're just going to fold over the side without the lip, kind of get it going, press it down a little bit, and just keep rolling our meats down. You know, they should be nice and thin cut, so that's fine. And when you get to your lip, you're just going to press it in. No need for an egg wash if you're using a pizza dough, a store-bought one. You could just kind of press it in. I think I missed a piece there. There you go. And same thing with the ends. Just kind of fold them in as if you were wrapping a present, a really good, tasty present filled with delicious Italian meats and cheese. After that, you're going to lay it out into the center of a lightly greased pan, and you're just going to kind of press it out so that it becomes a little bit more flattened, I like to say, because the dough will expand and it will kind of puff up a little bit. So I like to kind of squeeze mine out so that the roll is actually very tight. There's one more little tiny step before we get this bad boy into the oven. Right here, I have about a tablespoon or 2 of melted butter. You don't need a lot. We're just going to brush a little bit over the top and not tell anybody. But I like to add some nice ingredients to the butter to brush over the top. Again, we almost want this to taste like an Italian sub cooked in garlic bread. So I add a little bit of parsley and a little bit of oregano right into the butter. Oop, fumbling there a little bit. And then, you guessed it, I'm a garlic lover, and I put it pretty much everywhere that I can get away with doing it. So we're going to put a little bit more garlic into our butter. After that, you're just going to give your butter a nice little stir. and brush a coating of it, not a lot. You do not want this soggy. You just want a little coating right along the top, because as this cooks, that's going to make a nice crispy golden brown top. It's going to have a little bit of those Italian flavors from the oregano and the parsley. It's going to have that garlic flavor that we all love so much. And it's going to actually, like I said, make it a very nice color, golden brown. After that, you're putting it into your oven based on the cooking instructions on the dough. So about 15 minutes until it's golden brown and looks cooked all the way through. So my Italian sub hot roll took about 15 minutes, and look how good it is. That butter gives it a nice golden brown, and you could kind of smell the garlic, just a hint of it, and I bet it's going to be really good. So if your dough is cooked all the way through, it should move nice and easily when you try to move it. So you're just going to get it to a cutting board and be ready to cut it up. And when you cut into it, look at this and how delicious it looks. Your cheese is melted. It's cooked all the way through. We have that nice garlicky smell coming. We have our ham, our pepperoni, our salami. It looks fantastic. I'm going to get another piece ready here for you guys. It just looks so good with this melted cheese inside. Oh my God. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? It really, really looks fantastic. I'm going to keep cutting this up for my friends. They're really going to enjoy it while we're watching some football. Make sure to subscribe to Cait Straight Up for more recipes like this one every Tuesday and sometimes on Thursdays and Sundays. Find me on Instagram, guys, Twitter. I'm all over the place. Make sure you put your comments and your video requests below. And other than that, I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.